Three resources are manpower planning, then you go with finance and physical resources. Very simply stated, these principles require that individuals and departmental objectives throughout the enterprise must be perfectly harmonized. Who should you listen to? Whom you are supposed to be responsible? Whom you are supposed to give all the accountability? All these things are listed in the operational principles. Hello everybody, a warm welcome to one and all. I'm Abhilash Chandra from the Department of Commerce and Management in Vidyashram First Grade College, the Temple of Excellence. Welcome to the next session of Principles of Management. Here we are supposed to learn about a special chapter, that is organizing and staffing. Now, what exactly this organizing is? Bringing together three resources to achieve the final goal. That is what organizing is. Now, the three resources are manpower planning, then you go with finance and physical resources. Now, the same way here, you need to understand the principles of organizing. The principles of organizing is divided into three. The first one is overall principles, operational principle, structural principle. Now, when you go with overall principles, organizational, and you go with operational and structural, you will understand that the principles of organizing, for the sake of clarity of discussion and a better comparison of this, we have been classifying these into three. That is overall principle, what exactly an organization should actually have. Next is how they are supposed to work, that is called operational. And the last one here is structural, how well you are supposed to go with a proper structure of an organization. Say example here, we have functional structure. Which one? Functional structure. When we go with functional structure, please understand, there will be a managing director, and then this will be here where we have people like we have HR team, we have marketing team, and we have, say, finance team. Now, what exactly this functional structure says is, whatever happens in HR, say recruitment, training and development, performance appraisal, that is what HR team does. Now, when it comes to marketing, it is sales, promotion, and then market research. That is what marketing department does. When it comes to finance, it is auditing. Then we have to go with balance sheet, then to allocate budget. So this is what is done by the finance team. Now understand, the functional structure I have given you according to the function of the people they actually are allotted. Now you have already learnt about the structure. Now if you go with it, overall principles, operational principles, structural principles. I can explain these three things in one example of function structure. The same way we have something called divisional structure, which I'll be explaining it to you what exactly a divisional structure is. Now, when we go with overall principles, understand this. Under this classification, now when you go with it, some of the very fundamental principles of organizations are included. That is, principles which are absolutely essential for an effective and logical functioning of the organization. Now here what exactly it is, there are three types. The first one is principle of unity of objective, principles of simplicity, and principles of flexibility. Now what exactly happened with our example? Now we told about managing director. Now there should be what? A unity of object, that is, he should tell what the other people should do it. That is, they should always go with something called MBO, management by objective. So there is one structure called principles of unity of objective. Principle of simplicity. Now HR team is here, right? HR team is here. Now they need to hear whom? The managing director. That is unity of command and unity of direction. That means what? Simple. The HR manager will not get confused, or he'll not get any dilemma. Whom should he report? The same way, principle of flexibility. If something happens in the team, say you had a performance appraisal, you have so many kind of a thing. Now there should be flexibility to manage the entire structure. If somebody is not there, we are supposed to go and we are supposed to perform. That is what the principle of flexibility is. Now when we go with principles of unity of objective, what exactly it is, please understand. Very simply stated, these principles require that individuals and departmental objectives throughout the enterprise must be perfectly harmonized, and that all objectives must be mutually supportive and collective, contributing to overall common objectives. Now the MD, he should tell everything to the other people, and other people should actually obey it, and they are supposed to get the work done. Now say example, here we have the MD, we have the HR manager, we have the finance manager, we have assistant manager, we have the assistant manager of finance. Now what really happens here is, please understand, the MD will go with the very simple state. These principles require that individual and departmental objective throughout the enterprise must be perfectly harmonized. The entire HR team, this is the HR team. Okay, HR team. The entire HR team should always go for the individual as well as departmental objective. The same way here, the MD need to also concentrate on the individual as well as the departmental objectives. And that all objectives must be mutually supportive. What is that? Mutually supportive and collectively contributing to overall common objectives. Now here, finance should also help the HR. HR should also help the finance. That is how the mutual people should actually go. That is what the benefit of organizing. Now, sir, how HR and finance mutually they can go with it? If HR is working more, then you will generate more money, so that you will actually get more reserves and supplies. Now the same way, here the finance should also give them the salary. The more the salary they are giving to the employees will also work. So mutually you are supposed to go with it. That is what the objective is. Principles of simplicity. Now principles of simplicity, understand this. The observance of this principle requires that the management must, as far as possible, design a simple organizational structure. Now I told you about this, right? What is it? We have that MD with us. Now we have few, I'll just give you few of the thing. HR manager, here we have financial manager. Now here we need to understand that there will be two more people, here there will be two more people. Now what it is a simple organization structure. That is, this person will obey him, this person will obey him. That means here responsibility happens. That means each person is responsible for his superior. The same way here you have MD, where authority flows. Authority. And it is also very simple. Now if you understand this, say example, if I give you the option A here and B, there are two people. Now A will listen to FM, FM will listen to the MD. Now the same way here responsibility goes and here authority flows. That is authority. So it should be very simple organization structure. A simple structure facilitates a better understanding. That means A will only be accountable to the finance minister. Now if you go with here, we have X and Y. X will only listen to HR manager. Now X will not listen to financial manager because X is not the subordinate of financial management. Though the financial management or the financial manager, he has more power than X, but still X boss is who? HR manager. So of superior subordinate, that is what you will have understanding of superior and subordinate. Now X and Y, who is the superior for X and Y? It is the HR manager. Who is the subordinate of managing director? HRM manager, that is human resource manager, as well as financial manager are the subordinate of the MD. So these are what, the minute you see this function structure only, you will get to know what are the arrangements, what are the alignments. Next, coming here, a simple structure facilitates a better understanding of superior subordinate relationship and provides background for better cooperation among people. So what happens here is, everybody will be actually happy with whatever they are doing it, because beautifully the structure or the organization structure or the functional structure is designed. The functional structure is designed. Now, next one we have as principle of flexibility. Now understand the principles of flexibility here. What happens here is, while designing the organization structure, the management must provide for inbuilt devices within the structure itself, which would facilitate changes in the organization structure to be effected as and when environmental factors, that is internal and or external, so demand. Now here what happens, let's go with the same kind of a thing. Say we have this MD with us. Now here we have the HR manager and we have finance manager. See, I'm giving you only like 2 examples. I want to cover the entire thing with only 1 example where you have the clarity with it. Let's go with, here we have X and here we have Y, and from FM we have is A and we have is B. The same way here X also have 2 more people, that is 1, and say here we have 2. Let's go with this, a simple nature where I have just named the people with alphabet and number. Now what happens is flexibility. If MD goes to a foreign trip or he is not well or some trouble have happened, something has happened, he is not able to attend the meetings, he is not able to come to the company for say 20 days. Now what happens is, somebody should be the in charge of, and they should take the MD position. Now that is actually up to the MD and the CEO, the board member, who actually can actually be the in charge. Now the people who are HR manager and the finance manager, now anybody can actually come and be the in charge managing director. Now it happens only when there is a situation where this MD is not available, he would have gone somewhere, or any kind of accidental or kind of a natural death or whatever it is. The post is empty. Now it is up to the board of directors to decide who should be the in charge MD until you appoint a new managing director. Now the minute one person becomes the MD, say example HR manager becomes the MD. Now this post is vacant. Now the HR manager should choose from X and Y who should be in his position. The minute somebody goes, now what happens is, it is all flexible. It is all what? Very, very flexible. The same way, when the MD is appointed, now what happens? The HR manager becomes, and he goes to the same position. X and Y also, they go to the same position. That is what? Flexibility. While designing the organization structure, the management must provide for inbuilt device within the structure itself, which would facilitate changes in the organization structure to be effected as and when environmental factor, that is internal factor or external factor, it so demands. So you are supposed to have that flexibility in you. That is what the organization structure tells you. So what is operational principle? Now please understand this. The second thing is operational principle, where we need to understand. Operation principle of organization could be suggested to be those which have a bearing on the running or functioning of the organization. That means they only go with what exactly the work is. They go with the real work. Some important principle under this category are as follows. One is principle of adequate delegation. When I say delegation, what happens is, I told you about if the MD goes and the in charge person should come. Before that, what exactly it is? He should get three things. Now, delegation have three common things. We call that as the elements of delegation. One is authority. Authority. Next you have is responsibility. Responsibility. And last one is accountability. Accountability. Now here, the minute the delegation is given, that is authority, responsibility, accountability. That means what a delegation is: transfer of authority and responsibility from one person to the another person. Here, the superior will give the responsibility to the subordinate, and subordinate will get the authority and he will run the show. That is what the delegation is. But here, delegation, you should also understand that it is a temporary thing which happens in a company. Scalar chain principle. What is it? Scalar chain principle. Now I told you, MD, HRM, finance manager. HRM will actually talk to AB. Now here, X and Y. Now what it does? It's a scalar chain. That is, it's a military concept where the subordinate will be hearing only to his superior. Though there are many people who are superior than him, but his immediate superior is the boss. That's why Henry Fayol also says that there is something called unity of command and unity of direction. Now, what exactly it is? That is, each and every employee should have one boss. That is called unity of command and unity of direction. The communication between subordinate and the superior, that becomes a scalar chain. Principles of unity of command, and then you have authority level principle. Now, who should you listen to, whom you are supposed to be responsible, whom you are supposed to give all the accountability. All these things are listed in the operational principles. Moving forward, we have structural principle. Now, what is the structural principle? The same way like operational one, you have a different structure. You say functional structure is there, then you have divisional structure. That is what it is. Structural principle of organization relate to those aspects of the organization which have a bearing on the structuring, that is, or development of the organization, its fundamental design and shape. Now, I told you, I have given you one of the functional structure, whether it's all depends on what functions they do, and they are departmentalized in that functions. The same way divisional structure is there, where each and every division is taken into consideration and then the functions are given. Say here you have division of work. That means you will split the very big task into small tasks and then give it to your employees, and they'll get it done efficiently and effectively, because you're giving them bits and pieces. You're not giving a bulk task, you're giving them small tasks, and they are ready to do the task. And every month you are giving the same task when they get specialized. That is called division of work. Then you will go with principle of functional definition. You'll go with a proper, you'll define each and everything and then tell them that what exactly they are supposed to do and what they are not supposed to do. Principles of optimum departmentation. Now you learned about what exactly this optimum departmentation is. You will go with separate departments and then you will tell them what exactly the work should be. And the last one is unity of direction. That is, you will start giving them the guidelines. That is what they are supposed to do. You will guide them and you will direct them. So this is what unity of direction. That means the subordinate, say we have A here and B and say C. Now B should listen or take the unity of direction from A. That is what it is. So A should give the authority, will have with A, and responsibility with B to A. Now unity of command and unity of direction should be given by A to B as well as A to C. So these are called the structural organization, structural principles. If you have any doubt regarding this, please do call us. We are always there to help you. Thank you so much. Hope you have understood. I'll see you when I see you.